What is up, guys? It's Bobby. So today, coming live from my new apartment. Sorry I had no time with you lately, but all the stuff with my new house and stuff and school just got over, and I'm starting to work. But hey, I got time right here, right now to do my Banlist, Wishlist, and prediction, because when this is coming pretty fast. I think it's in July or something like this. But here I am to do a discussion. So quickly, I'll just go about the cards that play around the ban list. So for the cards, I think I should get off the ban list. I've looked up the ban list, and I see there's just a bunch of cards like that don't belong there anymore. Like stuff like Dandelion that I think could go to 3 like without problems. Card Trooper, Tragodia, stuff like there's a lot of cards like Glow Bulb. Glow was the point of keeping it at 1. There's like a bunch of cards that you could put a 3 with no effect on the meta, honestly. But if we talk about the cards that would have an effect, cards like, I feel like Trishula is starting to be a viable option at coming back at 1. I don't want to say like it will and it should, but I think it's a viable option. For Bryanak, for those of you guys who wonders, like, this thing is never coming back, never, ever. Mostly because Mermail is a thing, and as long as Mermail is a thing, there's no way that thing is coming back. Other cards, like, I know in sectors, I've been on, like, the net lately, like, people are like, hey, in sector, Dragonfly, Hornet, all that stuff, and honestly, even with 1 Dragonfly and 1 Hornet, like, if you can stop those 2 cards, like, I've been wrecked with in sectors once, like, I went at my locals, and one guy was playing in sectors, and game 1, like, I didn't get any floodgates with my Ying Zings, and he completely shit over my deck. He went so ham, I had no way to stop it, and he completely broke my deck. Like, so, I'm feeling like Insectors is still a very powerful deck if they have 3 Hornets and 3 Dragonflies. So, maybe those 2 would be okay, but even though I'm not quite sure. If it, other thing that should maybe come out, I'm thinking like, of course, Dragon Ravine. Like, now the Dragon Rulers, that the Papa Dragon Rulers are banned. Like, there's no way of keeping that card at 1. And the same idea, 7 star, Secret Star, 7 stars. It can come back at 3 with no problem. Like, maybe we play this in Red Eyes, but they already have a draw power, like a card to draw, which is cards of red. Anyway, so like everything related with the Dragon Rulers can come back without any problems. Well, that's pretty much it. Like for things that would affect the meta. If we talk about cards that should like get on the ban list, mostly of course I'm gonna talk about meta decks because that usually is what gets hit. I'm sorry for the mistake. So if we start with Shaddolls, I think Shaddolls, even though I think it's an archetype that is extremely powerful, I think right now there is nothing that you could remove from the deck that would not hurt them a lot. Like if you put Construct or Window at 1, or like like El Shaddol at 1, or like the deck is gonna suffer too much. Like right now, I think Shaddolls are a good. Like they're not tier 1. I think Shadow is more like around tier 1.5. So I think Shaddolls should not get hit. Like just like Tower Knights, they're just really like they're a deck that can easily add Floodgate. If you put a skill drain like on the Shadow player, on the Tower Knight player, like there's very few things that the player can do to counter that. Like maybe except like summon Mathematician, like you can even do that. Like maybe like Shadow Fusion, send a dragon and break the skill drain. But other than that play, there's not like a lot of things you can do to counter that. So I think Shadow and Tower Knights are like today that will once again go under the radar because they're just fine with it. Necros, I think Necros should get one final punch to the face because it's taking over 50% of the place at all YCS in North America. So I'm feeling like probably putting Kaleidoscope at 1 could be a very good way to restrict the deck. Like now you cannot get all the pluses you get from like Herald of Arclight, so you have to rely more on Shrit. And now you have 3 roller that's super easy, so you have to use all those Shrits. And when you use them, you have to go for the mirror and the cycle to go ban them from the graveyard. And maybe, I know H&I has been talking about this, Unicorn at 1, I think it's also a thing, but I think Necros players still, like, right now play 1 Unicorn, so I don't think that putting Unicorn at 1 would change a lot of things. Maybe Valk at 2, I would see Valk at 2 pretty easily, even though players usually run 2 now. But if you hit, like, those are ideas that I had, but if you want to do the same thing they did with, like, next Banlist, they'll probably get, like, put Brew at 1 and, like, Close at 2, like, this way you cripple the consistency super hard, or if you put, like, Chrysalis and Brio, both of them at 1, like, the deck, if you put those 2 cards at 1, like, the deck is super slow, and I don't think it can just over advantage you like they used to when all the cards were unlimited. But the real deck like I want to talk about is Clefort, because I still think this deck is incredibly powerful, because they basically play 5 Scout. I mean, they have 3 Summoner's Art, which gives them their 2 Scouts. So I think Scout should go to 1, because even with a Scout at 1, they would still run 4 Scouts, because you cannot possibly like put Summoner's Art at 1 or ban Summoner's Art. Like, there's no possible way that would make any sense. So Scout at 1 is surely a good idea, and I'd say like hit the ones that they use the normal summon, like the Helix and the Carrier, put those at 2, both of them, like this way, because even though it's still at 1, now that they have Soul Transition and Lose 1 Turn, like those 2 cards, they just fit so well with the deck, because the guys are like, alright, Summoner's Art, get Scout, play Scout, fetch something, let's say it's a Carrier or a Sacrifice, summon Carrier, attach Sacrifice, set like 3, pass turn. Now you're gonna go ahead and try to do some things like, alright, let's ask the monster, pass turn, alright, then turn Soul Transition, tribute the Carrier, bounce your shit, get a search, get 2 cards from Soul Transition, get my search from Sacrifice. Now I have 4 cards in hand, I draw at 5, and I still have 3 cards on board. Like, no, that's not possible. If you try to do something like, they'll be like, alright, skill drain. Like, you missed it, alright, lose 1 turn, now you're screwed and you can't do anything, and you're like, alright, I want some other stuff, and now I pen a Monolith, I Pendulum, and now I tribute for like Disc, summon 2 run, if you're not dead, fine, I'll just get 2 cards during my end turn, and my fetch from Scout, and like the deck is too fast, too furious, too consistent, too hard, it's too anything not to do something. I think Clefort is the target. I think Clefort is the target the Banlist is gonna hate, because honestly that deck is just it's too hardcore. Like, you can, because the floodgates usually don't work against Clefort. Like, if you go skill drain, we all know what's gonna happen if you skill drain a Clefort player. The player's gonna laugh at you and they're gonna like, alright, now I'm my 18. Oh no, wait, it's 3000 swam, and like, don't want to do that. Usually Vanitedness, and like, you said something, unless you have something that's over 21 defense, they can be like, alright, summon something, 18, sacrifice, swing over, 18, swing, with their beaters. So, floodgates don't work against Clefort, and that the main problem I have with this deck is that there's nothing to hold the deck back except maybe Mistake. And even there, if you flip Mistake, if the guy has Helix, you're just like, alright, summon Helix, Soul Transition, pop Mistake, fine, gets 2 cards. And he's gonna be like, alright, no fuck was given that day, because anyways, I'm gonna be like, alright, fetch Monolith in the next turn, Monolith, Pendulum 3, and like Tower, and like I can destroy 2 of your set, bounce something, draw the in face, send a card with tower, and swing with tower 3000. Like, Clifford is just putting second offense 1 and Skylar 2 is just not enough. Like, you have to hit the main cards that he will kill you with, because anyway he's gonna have a way to get to those. Like, and now with lose a turn, like, I feel Clifford players are going more. Sorry, it's itch. Are going more like towards the what's his name? Clifford Shell. I think it's Shell, the one that Pearson I think twice. Like, god damn it. But I think like if it lose 1 turn, almost lose in defense mode, it's gonna like alright, tribute 2 for Shell and like swing and get piercing, and you can even maybe get another attack through if you pendulum summon this turn. So this is pretty much like my wish list. Like, my wish list is just fairly long because I've looked at the Banlist and I was like, alright, this doesn't belong here, and this doesn't. Like Dandelion and Stratos and Glow Up Bulb and Tragodia and all some kind of cards that I think should, but I don't think they will. Like, the only cards I'm pretty certain they will is like Glow Up Bulb. I'm sorry, Glow Up Bulb and like Dragon Ravine. Like, other than those cards, and even Glow Up Bulb, I don't think they're gonna like Dragon Ravine. I'm pretty sure next format is gonna be a 3 because, like, why wouldn't you put it at 3 if Dragon Rulers, which are the cards that you put in the list, is now banned. Like, there's no way you have to keep that card at 1 anyway. So that's pretty much it, guys. So expect to see more videos. I have some time when I come back from work. I'm going to be showcasing my Ying Zing deck profile. It's doing super well. It's super strong, honestly. I've had a lot of good results with it. So stay tuned, guys, for my next videos, and see you guys.